Welcome to Our Life. I have been in the media industry for 12 years. So my question today is for entrepreneurs. Do you really know and understand fully how the media industry works? So today we're going to be pulling back some masks with some awesome entrepreneurs that are legends and some that are beginners. And we're going to sit down and dive in to the good, the bad, the ugly of the entertainment industry. So we'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back, and I have my first three phenomenal guests with me today, and we're going to start peeling back this mask on the good, the bad, the ugly for the entertainment industry. So let me introduce you to some of my guests. I have Miss Diana Patterson that's sitting here with me, and she is a film play director, author, the CEO of DMP Productions. Thank you for being here.
I'm honored.
As well, I have Miss Shanika Grant that drove 15 hours to get here. She's also a film director, radio personality, actress, speaker, CEO of C. Grant Enterprises and Unveiling Aspirations. Thank you for coming and being with me. And I have the gentleman that I met for the first time, finally today, through one of my old interns, Mr. Ralph Nickerson. You have been in the industry for over 30 years, a teacher in photojournalism, an editor. You're a two-time Emmy winner for Channel 11, social media and marketing director now for Be Busy. Thank you all for being here with me today. So, guys, when I said I had some people that were going to be in here with me today that were going to be able to really take the mask off of the entertainment industry, I really do. So, when I went back to film, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I hope I'm right, because I don't want y'all to correct me if I'm wrong. Film started back in the 1800s, 1888 to 1895. Is when film came about. So what was one of the things that caught each of your attention to be in the film industry, of all things? Whichever one wants to go first.
I think I was I was born a creative spirit. Mm-hmm. So as far back as I can remember, I've created. And I think film was just another platform to extend an expression of who I am as an individual. So for me, I think it's intrinsic. It was just something I've always done.
Okay.
And for me, it started off stage. I am just one of those. We started off in high school. Mm-hmm. So it started off with just stage plays. Mm-hmm. And when I got my first role to do a movie, it was like, okay, this is something different. Mm-hmm. And now, being from one side of the camera to the other, that was not in my cards. I never wrote it down, never said I wanted to be a director. It was thrown in my lap, and now I don't know what I waited so long for.
Because I've seen you act before.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's an amazing feeling to be able to know now, being on the front end behind the camera, you know exactly what it is now that the director was saying what they wanted, because I was on the other side.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, for me, I don't remember ever wanting to be anything but. I got my first 8mm film camera when I was about 10 years old, and I started running around making little movies. And for me, I guess it was Sidney Poitier growing up, and I grew up in a small town in Louisiana, and you could live through the movies and go to these different places and be Sidney Poitier and live vicariously through his character. And so there was escapism, and I enjoyed that as a child, and I just don't ever remember wanting to do anything other than make movies.
Wow. What are each of your thoughts on the film industry in Houston?
Oh.
How much time do you have?
Yeah.
In Houston, because this is my thought. We are the last I knew, we were the fourth largest city in the United States, and to this day I'm still trying to think, why are we behind? Why Atlanta has progressed.
New Orleans.
And New Orleans,
Yes.
way ahead of us. We can't make movies here. We're behind on every level of the entertainment industry. So that's I'm not understanding that. So y'all the experts. Y'all tell me.
Well, for a long time I worked with the Houston Film Commission, and when Mayor White was in office, he was adamant against film industry. Mayor Parker gave some lip service to it, but never really worked at it. Now, Mayor Turner, he was the first mayor to meet with people from Hollywood, but it kind of like, for me, it was a photo op because we never heard anything else about it. The reason that I've been able to the best thing I can see is that Houston doesn't need film. New Orleans needed it, especially after Katrina, to revitalize their community and their industry. Houston doesn't need it. We have oil and gas. We're the richest city in America. We're the only city in America that has not had a recession since the 70s. Then the medical, and then NASA. Houston doesn't need it. So therefore, the powers that be don't push it because they're afraid that movies are going to shut down the highways, shooting scenes, and so they're not going to ever push it.
And it's gonna mess up their oil and gas money.
Yeah,
because that's what Texas.
They're not going to do anything here that detracts from oil and gas and medical and NASA. And so the powers that be will never push it because they don't feel like they need it. The economy's too good here.
And because they're not offering the same perks as these other cities are to bring the filming to Houston. And then once you get here, Houston has some of the most amazing talent in the world.
No doubt.
And it's so under
Well, I'm
appreciated.
gonna get to that too. I'm gonna get to. So, why do you think we don't work together? Because, like you said, Houston has a lot of talent in every part of the entertainment industry, but it's like who you know type deal.
Yes.
Well, one of the things I've always said is, I don't have to dim my light to help yours shine.
Yes.
And a lot of people here don't understand that concept. If we could come together and collaborate and work in partnership with one another and build one another up and not feel threatened by another person's success and realize when one of us shines, we all shine. If we could do more of that, I think that we would have more success in the industry here. There's been some talk about building a soundstage in the Stafford area, and I do want to connect with some of the individuals from the Stafford area to see, how that conversation is going. The Chamber of Commerce and some of the other individuals there, they talk about it again, just as you said. There's a lot of talk about what's going to happen, but a lot of lip service, but we're not seeing the fruits of it. So I think a lot of times it's really about not being supportive of others in the industry. Whenever I hear someone's doing something, a play or anything, I try to support it. If I can't go, I buy a ticket and I give it away, or I buy a couple of tickets, or maybe 3 or 4 tickets, or if it's film, if there's anything I can do to support. So I think it's really about supporting one another because, again, no one's a one-man island.
And then I also think, and y'all agree or disagree with me, that people that want to get into this industry needs to know what their purpose is. Is that your true purpose? Is that what you're supposed to be walking into? Are you getting into it because somebody told you you were cute when you did something last week? And then you want to, and I have a lot of people in my past of 12 years doing this that will latch hold to me. But really, that's not your purpose. And you only trying to get my contacts. And then I don't hear from you no more.
It's also kind of, we're in this, we're all doing it, and it's just sad to say we're still in that crabs in a bucket type
Yes.
mentality.
Yeah,
And we
very
don't want to
much so.
see the next person doing better than we are. If there's someone new coming on the scene, for me being a new director, I had someone that saw something in me that I never, like I said, directing, I'm like on front of film, y'all, I'm a Grease fanatic. Okay, Grease 1 and 2, yes, that's me. I was singing that musical, okay, and that's what made me, I was like, man, I would have done this, and so I had someone, Miss Tanya Nolan, for her music video. She said, are you ready? Ready for what? She believed enough in me to say, I think you can do this. Phenomenal. We got a contender for a Grammy nominee for Best Music Video, my first time out. And it's funny because no matter what you try to do and you say, hey, I'm still learning, I'm doing great, there's going to be those that are already doing it. You talk to them, they don't want to tell you what it takes, or they don't want to give you any extra because they don't want you to be better than they are, or they don't want you to get to the next level.
And that's what's sad.
And it's hurtful, actually, and especially, she knows being a female director, it's even harder. As an assistant director on my first series, I'm sitting there with the men, and I'm giving, hey, we got a different viewpoint. I'm telling them things, and, oh, well, okay, we'll see. And then you turn around and do it because you realize, oh, that was a good idea.
So that brings me to my next question. Can each of you give me a breakdown of what it takes to make film and videos? Because I think the world we live in today and the way technology is, people just take their phone and do a video. And they think they done made a world-class whole movie on the phone. And can you please tell me?
Well, you know, them phones coming out with some good.
But see, I spent 20 years of my life as an educator, always teaching film, video production. And, you know, even with my students, I always try to let them know that it's not about the equipment. It's not about the gear. No one's hiring me because of my camera. They're hiring me from my skills. What it takes to make a movie, a lot of people fail in this industry because they don't want to do those things. Before I turn my camera on, I've already put in 4 or 5 months of work, breaking down my script, from writing to breaking it down, coming up with my angles, storyboarding, everything. They don't want to do that. They don't even want to write a script. They just want to show up and make up some lines as they go. And I go, okay, Robin Williams got away with that, but you're not Robin Williams, right? We need a script, and you have to have direction. A lot of people fail because once they try to make a movie, they start seeing how much work goes into it. They take a bunch of shortcuts, and then when the piece is put together, they look at it. Their friends go, oh man, that's a great movie. But you're not going to make a living just selling your movies to your friends. You're just not going to do it. You're not competing with films, just Houston filmmakers. You're competing with the world.
Exactly.
And so your standards have to be higher. They don't get that. They're okay with, hey, I print these out on DVDs and I sell them at a gas station. I sold 20. I'm successful. And that's just not, that's not enough. You're going to be selling coffee for the rest of your life with a film degree.
They don't want to do the work. I can attest to that because I meet people that want to do what I do, and they say I make it look so easy. But before I get to this, I'm sitting up putting together the entire show. I'm putting together segments and questions and all of that. And people don't want to do that. They just want to get up and talk and whatever. What y'all want to put to that?
Well,
What it takes.
Heart. You have to love what you're doing. And if you're just doing it because it's the latest craze for you or your newest hobby, then I'm just tell you, don't do it. You have to have the heart and the passion for it because it's not easy. It is not easy at all. I remember like it's 2:00 in the morning and we're still on set.
Yeah.
And no, it's not easy. And it does take work, but it takes the heart. You have to have the heart and dedication for it and know that you're going to have some good days and you're going to have some bad days.
And a lot of people can't take criticism. You know, especially
That's
as a
it.
director, they fell in this industry because someone says, you need to re-edit that scene. You know, put this shot first or whatever. Or, you know, your character is flat. It's not developed. You have your character is the same person at the start of the film as at the end of the film. They never evolved. They didn't have any revelations in their life or anything. And then they get upset and they go, I wrote this. This is my movie. And I go, okay, it's fine. You know, it's fine. Good luck with that.
That ego is a mother.
Yes.
Oh, you can bet not.
It's killed more careers than
it's-
anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
It really
I've gotten
is.
real quiet on set because you said something and all of a sudden, you know, let me go ahead and make a general announcement. I am the director. I wrote this. And if you don't like the way, and you just kind of sit back because then you understand it's not about the product. You're no longer concerned about the film. It's yours. Now it's mine, like a little kid. Mine.
And mine is not going to go.
And mine's not gonna work.
Mine is not going to go too far. Give me a few examples of some smoke and mirrors in the film industry, and then I'm gonna get you guys contact and social media and what you got going on next.
That it's all glamorous and glitz. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's limo rides and
Red carpet.
red carpets.
Yeah.
That's so far from it. So far from it. And I think when people start, it's not all glamorous. It is work. It's long nights. It's bags under your eyes. It is eating McDonald's or having Starbucks on speed dial. Whatever it is. It is not all glitz and glamour. I think that's part of that smoking glasses that you get in this industry. You may have 20,000 followers, a million, that all of those people are going to support you. No, they're not. It's not the glamorous life that everyone wants it to be.
And I think for me, I'm as you know, I'm new to the film industry. I'm just now working on my first film project. But I started working on this film project 3 years ago when I launched my first large stage production. And it's been a challenge because of the quality that I'm seeing. I'm not satisfied with the work, the individuals that I've been interviewing to do the film and the production aspect of it for me. I haven't been happy with the quality of their product, especially when it comes to sound.
And that's very important.
Yeah, and I think for me it's lack of resources. There's just not enough out there, especially locally here in Houston, to develop the type of product that I want. And I'm the type of person, I understand that, you get one chance to make a first impression. And so my first film has to be outstanding. And if I can't give that product, I'm willing to wait. So I think for me, it's just thinking that it's so easy, and it's not. And I can tell you I'm willing to be patient and wait on the work to be the quality and the level that I want it to be.
I think the biggest smoke and mirrors that I see that's very misleading to people is the amount of work that's out there, especially in front of the camera. You think about it, and I love the history of everything, so I apologize. But in the 50s and the early 60s, you had Sidney Poitier, Ossie Davis, Harry Belafonte, and a few female actresses that you kind of knew the name of. And that was it. And they got every single role during the blaxploitation films and Melvin Van Peebles coming up during the late 60s and into the 70s, and more black actors started working. But still you had 20 that were constantly in the same 20 being rotated in every film. Today we look and we go, we got this black actor, that black actress, and this, and the Halle Berry won an Oscar, and then we have Denzel. But so things are growing now. Well, you still may have 200 actors now. And that's a lot better than the 5 or 6 that we started out with.
Yeah.
So you may have 200 black actors and actresses that are always getting the same role. And then you have that 6 that get every big role. Samuel L. Jackson, Will Smith, Denzel. They get those big roles, and they just keep getting cast. But think of how many people are acting. You got like 50, 60,000 people trying to make it in this business, and you got a couple of hundred that
And
are.
you won't pick them.
Yeah, and your odds are just not that great. It should be, but it's not that great. And so, but we look at, well, now we have all of these black actors. Well, 90% of them feels like they're from the UK now. But for American black actors, it's not that many jobs. It looks like there is, but there's just not.
No.
And we have to, as independent filmmakers, we have to flip that. But people have to be willing to work in independent films without going, hey, I want the Bentley and the Lamborghini and the red carpet right off the bat. And you go,
Sacrifice.
you're not going to get that in my film.
Sacrifice.
You
I
know,
got a
They don't-
Toyota
they
RAV4
don't
for
know
you
how
right
to-
here.
I think in this day and time, they don't know how to crawl. The saying, crawl before you walk.
Right.
They don't know how to do that no more in this day and time.
Because there's
It's
a lot of
just
people
like
that don't
now.
understand. They want instant gratification. They don't want to do the work.
And that's what we portray. But you guys give me, we're going to start with you, your contact information, what's next for Be Busy, all of the.
well, I worked in TV news for a while and recently left KHOU Channel 11 and now work for a company called Be Busy, and we're a learning institution and we also have wellness centers. So I now do social marketing media there, but we also have another branch where we're producing television shows. And so I can easily be reached at.
Don't put your number on there.
Oh no,
Don't
goodness
put-
no. But you can find me on Facebook under just Ralph Nickerson, or Ralph at BeBusy.org. And I love film. I'm that guy. I've been doing this 35 years, and I still sit and do a ton of tutorials, and that's my leisure reading or manuals and things like that. So this is what I do. I don't, and I'll let you go, but like I have 0 friends that aren't in the industry. Like no, I don't even know what people talk about that aren't in film, video, music. I to sit and talk to someone like that. If we talk sports, I can hang in there. But other than that, I'm out. I'm like, we're not going to talk about the new camera that Sony just released. Well,
Yeah, because you live.
yeah, I got that thing to do with that guy over in that other place. But I'm blessed to have at least 12, 13 people in my family. We all work in this industry, and those are my closest relatives. And the relatives that aren't in this business, I go, hey, how you been? I haven't seen you a couple of years. But the ones that are, we talk constantly because it's what I am, it's who I am, it's why I am. I'm a filmmaker. It's not a career. It's a lifestyle. It's in your DNA.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, it should hurt. If you're not a creative person, if you're a creative person but you're not creating, it should hurt. You should feel physical pain if you can't write or dance or do whatever. So that's me. So if anyone want to talk film, equipment, gear, editing techniques,
Holla.
hit me up.
Shanika.
You can follow me on social media, Shanika Grant, the Shanika Grant on Facebook and on Instagram. I have my 8th annual Women's Empowerment Conference that is coming up June 11th at South Shore Harbor. You can get the information on Eventbrite. And on let me get the dates right, July 16th, my first feature film I directed, Unspoken Words, will be at the Star Cinema Grill at Baybrook. It'll be featured there then, so y'all can check it out, follow it. Check out all my little plugs, right? You say what we got going on?
Yeah.
Good Woman, Tanya Nolan, latest music video. She's here in Houston. She's getting a lot of publicity right now. And that music video, Good Woman, is the latest music video that I was blessed to be able to direct. And then there is Smile on My Face. That was my first one. So it's a lot going on right now.
I see.
I'm excited though, because God is definitely doing some things. He's doing it big. He said, you asked for it, now get ready. So I can be reached ShanikaGrant@gmail.com or again on all social media platforms.
I miss Diana.
And my social handles are all at DNP Productions, Facebook, Instagram, all of the above. Right now, I am preparing for my encore presentation of my critically acclaimed stage play, Everything Grows in the Valley, A Few Good Men. Preparing to tour. Atlanta's going to be our first stop. And launching my film project, I'm praying, if all goes well, early 2023.
Okay. And the play
The play is
comes out
going to be
July
at the
9th.
Stafford Center July 9th, 5 o'clock p.m. Tickets are on sale at staffordcenter.com, or you can go to the box office, purchase your tickets. And also I can be reached if you want to reach me. I can be reached at Diana Patterson at dnpproductions.org.
Alrighty. So guys, we've got the rundown on film. So we're going to take a quick break and we will be going into the radio industry to see what type of smoke and mirrors and the good, bad, and the ugly that the radio industry has to give you. So we'll be right back.
Radio was first came out when radio was fun. When I first got in radio, it was fun. It was super fun. The live remotes.
Because I used to
everything
call
that we did
in to
was fun.
some DJ.
Yeah.
I thought his voice was nice, but he's ugly. But,
That's radio for you.
He had a face for radio.
but I used to call.
$100 on chicken nuggets?
$100 on chicken nuggets. Really?
How'd you get in my house?
I'm with Wisdom Tax.
Wisdom tax, so you can help me with all of this.
Most definitely. Looks like you need help in bookkeeping.
So what about maximizing my refund?
We can only maximize your refund if you get organized. Here at Wisdom Tax and Financial, we teach you how to be free. 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 Free.
Free! Awesome! So I can be free of these receipts.
Most definitely. Please give us a call.
Thank you. Can you free yourself out of my house, please?
Only if you promise to give us a call.
I'll give you a call. So I can be free.
Wisdom Tax. Learn to be free.
All right, guys, we are back, and I have my radio gurus sitting down with me. So let me introduce you to who I have with me here. I have Miss Chris Bryant, radio personality for the City Highlights at GMT Radio. She's also a TV personality for Meet Houston, so she plays in both roles. You don't play them?
That's me.
Oh, I thought y'all had.
We
okay,
did
we go
last year.
Okay, well, see, I was.
This year we're doing the City Highlights.
See, I was. Okay, see, I was halfway right. She was.
And she was.
Yeah, I was right, and she's also an actress and a mental health activist that we both share. Also, Miss Shanika she don't want to go home. She's still here with us from the film segment. And I also have the legendary Mr. Jazzy Red, rapper, DJ, worked for 97.9 and Box 102 Radio. Big homie Jazzy Red of Magic 102.5 FM out of Beaumont. Nationally recording artist as well. You've done a little bit of everything and everything.
Pretty much so. Yeah.
So you are definitely the guru of radio. So do you guys think that radio has taken a back seat to social media? Because a lot of people, back in the day, we got our information from radio. And now we get it from social media or whatever Google tells us to do.
Yeah.
Y'all think radio has taken a back seat?
Well, I don't think not as much, but it has kind of slid to the background just a little bit. When I first came to Magic in Beaumont in 06, social was kind of just sliding in, so it wasn't, you didn't have too many outlets to go to as far as, so radio was a big thing. So I mean, but like you say, you have a whole lot of different avenues to go to now as far as other than radio. So yeah, probably taking a slight backseat, just a little bit.
What are y'all?
I
My
think
two ladies.
so, because everybody wants to see. So now with social media, they go live. They're doing the shows, and they're actually, so you can have a radio show and they're streaming it on social media at the same time. And if given the choice, I'm gonna watch rather than tuning into the station. And this June will be 2 years for access granted for my show. And when I go live, then I have to say, okay, I'm just going live for a few minutes. Now you got to get on the actual, app or get on, log in so you can listen to it. And now you even have the radio versus the internet radio. So it is a lot. I do think social media has done a lot to downplay radio.
Let me get what you think before I go to this next.
I do agree. I think it has taken a back seat. I think sometimes the back seat is actually a good thing because it's given us opportunities to pivot. With having social media as an outlet, doing our radio shows there, we may lose numbers on the air, but we gain audience that we may not have gained on the radio. Considering I'm on internet radio, they have to log in to even get to me. It's not like you can be in your car and tune in to me. So it gives me an audience that may have not even known that I was out here, and they saw me on Facebook, and now they join me on the radio as well as the Facebook.
So where do y'all think podcasts sit in all this? Where does podcast fit into all this?
I don't know. To me, it's just another avenue, another vehicle.
Just a niche.
Just something extra. Just like like she said, she was talking about streaming live streaming the radio station. So it's just right now you just have a lot of different avenues, a lot of different options to go to. As opposed to back in the day when radio was first came out, when radio was fun. When I first got in radio, it was fun. It was super fun. The live remotes.
Because I used to
everything
call
we did
in to
was fun.
some DJ. I thought his voice was nice, but he's ugly. But,
That's radio.
He had a face for radio.
but I used to call in and talk to him all the time at nighttime.
I know who you're
think of
talking
that
about, but
name.
I'm not going to say his name.
I don't know if that's
Because my mom said
because I know he old right now. But, okay, moving on.
That's what radio
Go ahead.
did for you.
So
But like she just said, and you guys are kind of still all saying kind of the same thing. It's just another outlet. But do you think with the streaming outlets, is that taking away?
I think it's making us get with the times. Like, that's what our audience is doing. If we want an audience, we have to go where the audience is. And back in the day, all we had was radio, and then TV came in, and they said TV took over radio. But they all play their own part. They all have their own platform, and they all sustain. It's just a newness to it. That's what I think.
just like records and CDs.
Right.
Records went out, CDs came in, tapes went out, records came in, CDs came in.
Evolution.
Serato, DJ came in, so it's a whole different. It's just changing. It's got to adapt.
So what do you think about the radio stations in Houston?
What do I think about them? I mean,
What are y'all thoughts of-
Which stations? Well, hey, that's where that's where I started at in Houston.
Yeah.
So I'm biased to that question. I mean, it's a lot of it depends on from back in the day and to now to current. So radio has changed a whole lot since I first started. Over at Kids Jam, KTSU, we were the first radio station to play hip hop in Houston. So we did that for a lot of years. And Peter Allen over at 95.3 Jams, he got the Kids Jam too. So he's continuing the legacy with that. And radio is just changed. So it's a lot of different stations. It depends on your taste and where things are going with radio today. So it's changing.
I think we have some of the best stations here in Houston. Because when I go home, I'm Louisiana, and I have to
can't find
search for
nothing out
there. But I think we have the options, the variety we have for the shows here in Houston, and it's something for everybody. I do believe that.
I like the fact that the radio became visual. Because I remember as a kid, like, tuning in, not knowing how ugly the DJs were.
Don't look at me. Why she looked at me?
She did.
I'm the prettiest DJ in radio.
You are the exception. That's why I
There wasn't
said.
that
Oh,
many.
thank you.
Seriously,
Okay.
no.
It wasn't that many.
It was not that. So I think that
No.
it gave an option for radio, not just to be behind the scenes. It gave radio personalities an opportunity to get out and kind of experience
get a
some of
chance
that.
to see them.
Yeah.
See who they are.
And see how ugly they are in
As
person.
opposed to them being at a live remote and you had to go to the remote to see them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
It's a lot better.
then you get to the remote and be like, that's what he look like? Or that's what she look like?
But it's like when you build a relationship with somebody, it's good to kind of actually be able to see them.
Yeah.
And that's not what our option before in radio. We
No.
never really knew who our favorite characters were,
No, we
our
did.
personalities.
So give us a few smoke and mirrors of in the radio industry.
Pertaining to
Yeah,
Everything.
it's a lot of them. What
Just-
kind?
Everything.
you mean some
Whatever
dirty
you
behind
want
the
to give.
scenes type
Everything.
things or
Oh, that you're in this studio and that looks like what was that show with Cookie Lines and
Oh,
Lucius?
Oh,
Lucius,
the
no.
studio,
Yeah, it doesn't look like that.
No.
It does not.
Most of them do not look like
They don't.
Well,
You came to the station.
Yeah.
And they have the
Yeah.
you had to set up, and sometimes same with film. They think it's glamorous. They think it's, oh, this got to be so much fun. No, I have to work on shows. I have to get guests. I have to work on music. I produce my own show. So they'll be like, ooh, that music was kicking. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have to do all of that. So they don't understand that it is work.
Yeah,
That's
People
the
think
smoke
you're
and
just getting up
mirrors.
there. The
that
smoke
is
and mirror.
a lot,
People
lot
think
of
we got a big
misconceptions about
team
that.
behind
All
us.
all-
It's not a team. It's
It's
a team
just
of me.
us.
you know what
We're in
people
the
tell me all
studio
the
doing
time?
all that.
You know what people tell me all the time? All you do is play records.
It's not that exactly.
you do is
they
play
think it's that
records.
simple. Like,
And it's
Who
not
came up with
like
the
that.
content?
I've
Little
been
do
to-
they know, I produce commercials. I have to do
Sound bites.
A lot of stuff.
So many different things. I do all kind of
Bookings.
production, all kind of paperwork and things like that.
I
And,
actually admire radio people because when I go and sit down for an interview, y'all working boys talking to me and scram. If it was me, I've been you.
there is no team. That's the smoke and
It's
mirror.
all kind of buttons. You wouldn't be able to hear me. No, so I do commend you on that
and
because
when,
that's a
when
lot.
guests when guests come to the studio and they see us doing all, they say,
Yes.
"Man, you, ooh, I couldn't
take
do
it
that."
That's
because I don't think I'll be
take
able to
talent
do
to
that.
do it 'cause I'm
No.
hitting buttons.
That's
I'm
how
doing
my
this.
Just hear the
profession.
sound and see us.
Yeah.
If you have the opportunity
No,
to see
y'all
us, but
are-
you don't know all the work. Like really you have to get there like 30 minutes before your show just
Yeah.
to set up, just to prep.
Just to
Right.
be-
It's not just coming in and playing songs. I
No,
swear.
it's not.
Right.
I had a nice producer for 1 year, and it was the owner's son, and he was going off to college, and I think I had a nervous breakdown when
On
that
your
baby
first
was
show?
leaving, because he was leaving when I had to do it by myself.
Wow.
But now you can't tell me nothing. And
Yeah, radio people do a lot of work because they're in there by themselves 9 times out of 10, and it's not an engineer in there with them.
Right.
And if I wouldn't have my engineer here today, I don't know. We probably wouldn't have half of this. I don't know. I don't know what job
And before
So-
before the automation thing, I don't know if they still do it at 97. When I was at 97.9, you couldn't. Things just didn't play automatically. But they said you had to hit every single thing. Because we had a touch screen, so you had to hit the commercial. You had to hit the next song. See, now it just plays. by
Yeah, with
itself.
nobody
It
there.
plays, yeah. Well, with nobody there, and when you're there, also the songs just play now. So physically, you had to. That's why if you're not there when I was at the box, if you're not there, your show it'll just stop. So you know that you're in that. You have to be in that building and have to be at that control board. Just manually hitting all your songs and everything, your commercials, everything. Well, when you hit the commercial, you go all the commercials play, but when you come out of that commercial, you got to hit your
You gotta still go
sweepers
back to
to your songs and everything. So
It's a science.
you have to be there, physically.
So before each of you give me your, definitely Jazzy Red and Miss Chris, your social media information. Give us one word that you would tell somebody that wants to get into the radio industry.
Now, the radio industry now, as it is, it's not bad. I mean, just prepare. Yeah, I stole your word. just prepare. You got to prepare yourself for what and just be focused. Yeah, on what you're doing and just learn your craft. No,
You gave them all kind of
who
words.
said this? Yeah, well, I'm just yeah. But
he was giving a word for all of us.
Yeah, he did.
and just know, you got to know your audience. You got to know more than your audience.
Yeah.
You always got to do that. So
Prepare, focus, know your audience. You have,
Prepare to always need to be prepared for a pivot.
yeah,
That's my
Yeah.
PPP.
yeah,
Because that's radio for you.
yeah. Yeah, give me you guys social media Miss Chris and I'm gonna start off with Miss Chris and Jazzy Red. Then you give us your information on access granted.
It's Chris Bryant, Kris Bryant, on all social media platforms as far as Facebook and Instagram _City Highlight. And you can find me also on Chris Bryant's brand page as well as the City Highlight family page.
And I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Instagram, IG is Jazzy Red, at Jazzy Red, JAZZIEREDD. Twitter, Jazzy Red 2, and on Facebook, Jazzy Red. Jazzy with the IE, red with 2 D's.
Don't forget the 2 D's.
You can't forget my 2. If you forget my 2 D's, it's gonna be a problem.
I'm gonna make sure my editor forgets.
Because
I want to see what the problem gonna
and
be.
when the credits roll and I see Jazzy RED, it's gonna be.
Well, I'm gonna do it just to do it.
Do it. I dare you.
Just being
I will.
messy.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna call you Chris when I do it. It's like,
Check this out.
see what
I left the
You
D
did
on
it.
Jazzy.
give us the information for access.
And for me, it's highvolumemusicradio.com, or you download the app. You can follow me on the High Volume Music Radio page or the Chanika Grant page on Facebook and Instagram. Check me out every Thursday, 7 p.m. Access granted.
All right. Well, I want to thank y'all for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Always. You always. We got to come back and do something on mental health. So, guys, we're going to take a quick break. And when I return, I will have the TV gurus that will be sitting down talking to me about television and how that works and the smoke and mirrors and how you don't get invited to other people's shows because you on TV. I'm sorry, I digress. That was me. That happened too. So we'll be right back. Can each of you give me one thing that is a must know when you're walking into the TV industry?
I would piggyback off of what Jenny shared. Create your own lane, your own character. There are a lot of
Hi, this is Willie Adolph of the Adolph Group at Equity House Properties. I'm here today to talk to you about home purchasing. You know, a lot of times people want to know, where do we start? When do we start? How much do we need to save? What does our credit score need to be like? Can I really move in now? And the answer is yes. The thing is that you want to get pre-approved first before you even go house shopping, because what you wouldn't want to happen is that you find the perfect home, but the bank won't qualify you for your mortgage. So always get pre-approved first. So find a good lender, which we have a lot of resources for you on that. Second, you want to make sure that anything that's on your credit, if it's something that you can work with, let's work with it, because everything on your credit, it depends on what it is for each mortgage company. And third, once you get that pre-approval, now it's time to go house shopping. Now, Willie, what about the money, the down payment and things like that? Well, they have a lot of programs that's out there. So based on your credit will depend on the down payment assistance that you can receive. But we do have a lot of resources and a lot of things that can help you. And everyone with the Adolph Group will hold you by your hand and walk you through the whole process. So you can contact us at www.theadolphgroup.com or 281-451-7087. And remember, when you have will, you have a way.
The Adolph Group at Equity House Properties. We provide residential, commercial leasing apartment locating. We provide consulting on home buying, home selling, and credit restoration. We help with private investments through All Faith Investment Corporation. Contact us now, the Adolph Group at Equity House Properties. We make real estate your reality.
So, guys, we are back, and this is a segment I've been waiting on because this is TV. I don't do radio and I don't do film, but TV, I've been waiting for this segment. So, let me introduce my guest I have with me for this segment. I have Miss Tennille Thomas, radio and TV personality for I'm Just Saying.
I'm just saying live.
And we have Mr. Jimmy. And Mr. Jimmy, I think when we first talked, you talked about you had just started into this and you started learning everything you need to do, and you dabble with film and TV.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
As in production. And then we have Miss Mika Diamond. If you know anything on social media and you see Mika Diamond, you better pay attention. Mika Diamond is a radio, TV personality, author. Give me the name of your company because I will mispronounce it all the way around.
So it's Visible Evidence.
Visible, okay,
Yes.
there. And radio, TV personality for GMT Radios, GMT Broadcasting Company. You are the station manager, radio personality of the Morning T Radio Show. And Meet Houston, since Chris told me I got that wrong. So I've been waiting for this segment, y'all, because I've been doing this for 12 years. Self-taught. I was blessed to have been around for 8 of those years. The original producer I had. So I learned a lot from her and how the audio, how it should look and different things to look for. But now, the world we live in now, when I look at certain things and I'm looking at people floating on green screens and your audio goes in and out and all this craziness, and I just sit back and I look, and half of the time they don't want to listen to nothing that I have to say because I'm not on channel 11, 39, and 20, not yet, but I stream all over the United States, but you still don't want to listen to nothing I have to say. So I'm a little confused on all of that. So first, I want to start with what inspired each of you to get into TV and just the media industry, period.
Well, I'll go first. So honestly, I was a child in school that didn't want to raise my hand because I didn't want any attention. That was me. Until I began having clients. I started doing PR work, and I started having clients, and so I would have to bring them to do interviews, and then eventually I was being interviewed. So that's what introduced me to being more comfortable with talking in front of the camera. And then also as well as introducing me by building relationships with those who are in media. And so when my life journey changed to being asked to be a part of the radio, I actually said no. I didn't want to do it until I said, you know what, I never back down from a challenge, so let me go ahead and just try it out for 5 days. And it's been 4 years and a transition from radio into actually being in front of the camera. Because in the digital world that we now live in, I started doing Facebook Lives on social media.
Yeah.
And so that's what got me into doing talk shows.
And like your counterpart said, Chris said, we have to move with the time. And that's what the time seems to be at this point. So we just got to move and elevate with the time. Who wants to go next on what inspired you to get in there?
I got you because mine is completely opposite of both of them. Let's say this. So you were talking about, training yourself and doing different things. I was the behind the camera girl. I always wanted to do graphics, and I always was writing out the stuff for the people who were on screen. I started at a humanities and communications high school in Dallas. I got trained by Lily White to do all these things, but everybody see you and they say, well, girl, you should be in front of the camera. But I can't work everything from behind the camera, so here you are talking about you want it to look a certain way, but you can't ever find the people who want to get on the team to make it look the way you want to if people want you in front of the camera. So that's a huge problem that I faced here in Houston. But
we're going to get to that. Because I think I'm going to go all out with their questions. Jimmy, come up. What inspired you?
I'm going to keep it short. There's a cliche that says if life doesn't give you a lane, create your own. And I'm new to this, as you said. And I'm only 5 years into it, self-taught, and I've had an amazing run so far. Bumps and bruises, but I have amazing run. I wanted to expose some things, different cultures and whatnot, where I won't call any names. They wasn't open to it, so I created my own. Now on HJS TV, where I stream on different platforms and Roku TV.
Can each of you give me one thing that is a must know when you're walking into the TV industry?
I would piggyback off of what Jenny shared. Creating your own lane, your own character. There are a lot of people that are they want to be like what they see instead of creating what it is that they have within themselves. And so I would say that would be the one thing that I would do is create your own image of character of who you are on the camera and off the camera, and then run with that.
I would very much so say acceptance of now. Where you are right now in any given situation, because I've modeled, I've done radio, I've done TV. Where you are at that very moment doesn't mean that's where you're going to wind up.
Yeah.
So just keep working towards your goals.
A must know walking into TV is basically with almost anything, but definitely with TV, you have to have a team.
Okay, stop. So, how important is it to have a team?
Building
Because
the team.
like you started it off, and he just picked it up, and here we go. We finna go down this messy road here.
Let's go on down.
It's real. It's a real road.
Let me share with you how important it is to have a team.
It's very important to have a team.
How important it is for you to have your legs to run.
That's good.
Yeah.
Your eyes function great, your hands, your arms, your digestive system. If you can't have any healthy, strong legs, you're not gonna get too far. You'll go places,
That's good.
but you'll go a lot faster if you got some healthy legs.
That's good.
And your legs is a part of your that's a major part of your body. You got to have a team to get somewhere.
If I wasn't taped to this chair, I would run.
That's good.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Very much so.
That was good. I've been doing this for 12 years, and I had to learn you have to have a good team. I tell people it's not the size of your team. Also, you can have a small team. I have a team that's more than the two people you guys see here with me today. But them two that's here today is a mighty two. Without them two that's here with me on a daily basis, and then I have another set that does other things, I don't know at this point, because the show has gotten bigger, so I would probably go crazy, if I didn't have a team. But you have to have also a team that knows the word team and not trying to compete with you.
Very true.
Very true.
And those people are hard to recognize because sometimes they're right there in your face. They act like, they want to gain the knowledge of the industry, if you will, because all the behind the scenes. You got all those things running, but, you haven't built that team. You're incorporating people who want to be you or better than you, if you will. And it's really not even a competition. It shouldn't even be a competition like that. They shouldn't be looking at you like that. You're looking at them as a sister or brother or somebody you're trying to help. And every time they just taking pieces.
I've grown in this journey to stop accepting everybody as sister or brother. I've grew to understand that those who start with you may not be who end with you. It may just be the season that they need to be in at that particular time. And at one time it used to bother me, but then I said, you know what? I needed them in that season. I may not need them in the next, but for me to walk to where I needed to get to, I needed those specific people. And so when I started looking at it in that aspect, my mindset changed. Well, not being upset about it, because at least God blessed me when I needed them during that season and showed me discernment in who they are when I'm going into my next.
And then you have to know that, and then also be able to take the criticism in this business. And you definitely have to mature to all of it, because I had to mature to different things as well. What is the outlook in the media industry for TV in Houston? Because the film, as we talk with them about film, Houston feels it's not necessary, because we are known for medical, we're known for oil and gas, like one of the previous guests say. Oh, I disagree with that too, but what is your outlook on the media industry for TV in Houston? Because
I would say Houston is a very untapped market. You got Hollywood, Bollywood, Nigeria Wood, however they call it. Nollywood. You have Atlanta that just jumped off. I heard one guy saying, not to put any shade on what he's saying, how New Orleans needed that platform at the Katrina. Well, we haven't gone through. Harvey hit us hard.
Yeah.
But Houston is an area where a lot of major people are moving to, because they know this potential. It's an untapped market. But the issue that we're having here, the outlook of it is that we do not know how to work together.
You out here.
What you say? Take the whole tablet.
But getting together and knowing how to do it is two different things.
Just go and say what it is.
Well,
Houston is very cliquish when it comes to people getting into certain areas of the business, if you will. Like you said, you're not on certain channels, but you have a phenomenal show. You've got all these phenomenal people together, but you can't go so far because they don't want you in that sect, if you will. Whether it be backgrounds, there's all kinds of things holding phenomenal people back from being in these other positions. Not because we don't run in the same circles and we don't see those same people at events that we are. But why didn't they say, oh, there's a job opening at such and such, I'm going to put in a good word for you. How many times have any of y'all had that?
Listen,
I've had it a few times.
I had a whole issue where I couldn't even go and be interviewed in a certain space because I have my own show.
Wow.
Which,
me too.
What I was thinking was, that's so dumb because my audience will come to your audience will come to my audience, and we'll have exposure for the both. And I just sat back and I said, we don't get it. We don't understand. There's a lot of different film, there's a lot of different producers, there's a lot of different radio shows and podcasts. But what if when the people come to Houston, we collaborate together and do a media campaign where we all can benefit off of that? We don't have that mentality here.
No, we don't, because like she said, it's cliquish. It's about who you know. I can't be on your show because I have a TV show, or if I meet someone. And honestly, 12 years, but I hate telling people what I do. And I should be screaming it from the rooftops. But I hate doing that because the first thing they say, oh, what, you got a podcast?
The very first thing, and it's something completely different.
How your little TV show doing?
Lil.
I stream all over the world. So really, but this is what I get half the time. It's from my people, but this is what I get. Or where your show at? You on Facebook Live?
That's it.
No, I'm in that set that's sitting in your house.
In addition to that, I honestly think consciously a lot of people in Houston don't value their product.
Are they doing it? Are they not doing it because that is their purpose in life? They're doing it because they think they can get quick money, quick fame.
Well, we rather go spend $200 on a pair of Jordans, rather pay $50 to come on Monique's show.
You ain't got to pay to come on my show.
But
so let's make that.
there are shows that say if you have a product, you coming on my show. Sure. I'm giving you advertisement.
Right.
So I charge you $50 to come on the show. Well, I ain't gonna pay $50 to come on your show. Where you stream at Facebook, or you only got 300 followers. But you go spend $200 to buy some Jordans, but you won't put $50 into your product.
Let me do that. Let me do you one better. Let me do you. My sister probably. Let me do you one better.
Okay.
You can have a product, and you will look at me, and I have space for slots where you can run a whole commercial for less than $1,000, and you stream all over the world with me. But you pay somebody that $50 so they can put it on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Very true.
So that's what I get. So I don't even. I just don't let it bother me like you were saying.
Before we could get too far from it, I think that people really don't know because the climate has changed so much because of the podcasting, because of YouTube. There's bigger stars on YouTube, y'all, now than the movies and TV.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different dynamic. So I don't want to judge it too hard, for certain things, but at the same time, you either better act like and get down with it, or you're going to become obsolete.
But in Houston, for Houston specifically, we don't work together.
No.
We don't work together.
No matter how hard you try, because I am one of those people that I support people's different things that are going on. I have a nonprofit organization. I even try to get people to come out. You can make your own pitch right there in front of the people that I've already invited. These aren't even your people. And you won't even take the time to show up.
In addition to that, we won't work together with each other here in Houston, but we will leave Houston and go to Atlanta and work with some more people. Rather than working with our own.
Because they'll accept you.
And I 100% agree with a lot of what Neil's saying because you are one of them people that support people. I just got a major opportunity because they told me,
I'm still
oh,
offering
Tennille
him
referred
up.
me to you. And I'm like, who is Tennille? And I snapped. I'm not thinking about your name every day.
Right.
But, and when you trust the process and stay true to who you are, those people that you need in your circle is going to come. And a lot of times, what you really need is already in your circle. We just
Take
have
advantage of it.
we just have a certain perception of that person, and we don't look past what we already see them as.
But I think also then we have to people place people. Like we have to put them where they belong instead of trying to open them up to everything, right?
Yeah.
There's a level of expertise in each individual and what their knowledge is, their resources are, or whatever. I know, like Tennille, myself, I support as well. And I had to learn that, okay, you can't open up the doors of heaven to everybody.
No.
Because some people, they don't see the vision. And I think that that's something that we have to do as well as understand that everybody is not going to be a part of everything. Everybody is not going to support everything. But the social media platforms and everything that we had to pivot to, I figure I don't want to miss it from nowhere. So if I have to be on all of them to get the exposure that I need, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to knock it, whatever resources, whatever platforms, or whatever the case may be. Use whatever works for you. Whatever your audience is gravitating to, then that's what you focus on. And I think a lot of people miss that.
What are a few of the smoke and mirrors before we end this segment? What are the few smoke and mirrors in the TV industry?
We can talk about a whole lot.
I know. You know, the main one is that you're going to make all this money. You're going to be able to go on these lavish trips and do all these wonderful things. No, we've put plans in place.
And be on all the red carpets.
Plans in place, okay? A lot of those things, some of them are paid gigs, some of them are not. You know, how many times have we heard, this is exposure for you? Excuse me? Like, I thought you asked me here because I got the exposure already type thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so how long does that go? Where do you put your cutoff? But they don't know that. They don't realize that part, that there's a consistent work that we need to do to be able to get in those different places.
And you said work, but you said something on social media.
Yeah.
I saw yesterday about paying for awards and all that kind of stuff.
That's a whole
and
nother
don't
show.
put in and don't put in
long.
don't put in the work.
Yeah.
Like you talking
I
about.
used to be so hurt. I used to think, oh my God, why does nobody ever recognize that I deserve an award? I'm highlighting small businesses. I'm doing, all these things for nonprofits. People started calling me a socialite because I'm showing up at everything. Y'all think I'm partying. In my mind, I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm here putting my effort.
I used to feel that way too until I received, after 11 years, was it 11 then? After 11 years receiving my first award for my network out of Alabama. And that was strictly, and that went on votes, and people had to vote.
Right.
And that's how I won it.
But you know what?
Congratulations to that.
Yes, congratulations. It feels good when you know that you've worked for what you've earned.
Yeah.
It puts you have a different level of respect for those that you see that are actually putting in the work. I've actually turned down awards because you don't see me. You see my network is what you really see. So let's just really get down to what it really is.
Yeah.
If it's not that, then I have to pay to be a part of this, to be able to receive the award, and that's just something in my soul I'm not willing to do.
One of the many smoking mirrors I think is fake fame.
That's good.
Social media give a lot of people a lot of fake fame. We get on there, we got this fake money now, we throwing it. We on the beach, we drive a car that we rented, and the first time,
Or somebody else.
You ain't lying, go ahead.
and the first time someone else come up with a good idea,
Yeah.
they think they want to get on social media and we're gonna blow up like the next person did, not knowing this next person that you looking at that you think had this lavish life don't have a job, living with a friend, don't even have a car. But on social media, they got the fake fame.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest smoking mirror that people walk into this industry
That's
with.
why I keep
Overnight
my
success.
family is a center of my post. I know everybody know I love my little family, period.
I would
and it's
say
like you have to have those things.
I would say to anybody that want to go in this industry, research who you're going to work with. Research the team that you're trying to put together.
And you
research.
still might get it wrong.
You might get it wrong, but at least you took time out to research and then educate yourself on how this industry is supposed to work. Not just go on what somebody tells you. So y'all want to give me, whoever wants to go first, your social media information and how you can.
On social media, it's Harvard J Studios. You can look me up on Instagram as HJSTV_. That's across all platforms.
All right, I am simply .Tennille. You can find most of my information there. And if not, go to @IJS Live on Instagram as well.
And I'm Mika Diamond on all social media platforms, as well as Visible Evidence, and that's VZABLE, but it's like the visible that you see in sight. So that's how you know how to pronounce it.
Yes, because I will tear it up. I will tear some stuff up in a heart. Chris knows I will tear it up in a heartbeat. But I want to thank you guys for being here. I have to bring y'all back so we can talk some more about TV and business and about these smoke and mirrors and these clicks.
Yeah.
Because it is clicks.
It is.
So when we return, our final segment is music. So you guys fasten your seatbelt because we're going to get into a little music and what music looks like today in Houston and in 2022, because to me it's no lyrics. It's just some good beat and that's about it. So we'll be right back.
It ain't nothing new, yeah, I'm a rebel with every cause. Yeah, you made me who I am, and that ain't my fault.
Welcome to River and Word. Our founder is Pam Jones, and she has so much to offer to independents. River and Word magazine helps promote, support, and connect you to radio, TV, and marketers to help you be successful in the arts. River and Word recently launched the River Word Gospel Radio Station. It's a place to gain more exposure for your music or talk shows. River Health offers all natural products that may help you lose weight, gain energy, reverse the signs of aging, improve eyesight, grow your hair, and almost 40 plus benefits. For more information, visit riverhealthnewulife.com. Pam Jones also has 4 River Consulting for independents, where she will guide, advise, and connect you to the resources to develop your brand. Pam Jones founded the River Awards to recognize and award the independent artists in music, dance, writing, and painting. She felt a call from God to give honor to his people. For more information, visit us at riverandword.com.
Wisdom Tax. Maybe I should give him a call. Oh, how did you get in my house again?
Now, you know I told you I'm with Wisdom Tax.
Well, I'm glad you showed up because I think I'm ready to get started.
Great. Look, I just need you to do one simple step. Visit our website online, www.wisdomtax.org. All right, fill out the application and we'll get back to you, maybe even in the next 10 minutes.
Awesome. I'm about to be free. Look, this is amazing. You know, so what? Wait. Hello?
Call us at Wisdom Tax, where you learn to be free.
All right, guys, we are back in our last segment, and in this segment, I have my music gurus with me. So I have Mr. Peter Allen here with me, longtime friend. Peter, I've been knowing you since I started doing this.
Yeah.
So, Lord, that's a long time to know you. Ooh, that's a long time. So you are the CEO of 953 Jams, and you have been in the industry for 23 years.
24 now.
It's 24 now?
24 now.
Oh, wow. That's a long time. I also have Mr. A.D. Green. You started in music when you were 13 years old. And then, what, was it 99 when you joined Swisher House?
Yeah, I joined the group in 1999. Dropped our first LP compilation in 2000.
Okay. And then I have Mr. Russ Brown. You traveled 2 days to get here. You traveled 2 days to get here.
It felt like 2 days.
You are a country singer, and you're gonna sing for us what I'm sure of, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You signed with Blue Diamond Entertainment, and you used to be a racehorse. Are you still a racehorse jockey? Or used to be?
We used to be.
Used to be. I used to date a racehorse jockey. Well, that's a
I'm
whole.
sorry.
That's a whole nother story. We ain't gonna wait. That's a whole nother story for another time and another show. But that was a long time ago. So tell me something, guys. What is your outlook on the music industry today? And then part two is your outlook of it here in Houston. But what is your outlook on it? Because the music today, like I said when we took a break, music back in the day, it had some lyrics that meant something. You can understand what the artist was saying. Now to me, it's just a good beat and it's just some words that don't have no type of meaning.
Well, I think the music today is too repetitive. It doesn't, to where it was on the old school, it had a message.
Mm-hmm.
Today, they're talking about cars, jewelry, degrading women. Not all music, I'm not saying all music, but the majority of the music today is too repetitive and they're sampling the same tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's too repetitive for me in today's music.
Mr. A.D.
How to lean in and talk to you on this one. Nah, but the way the industry is moving, artists have no substance.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everybody talking, like you said, repetitive, is talking about the same thing. Back then you had unique artists with lyrics. It was really speaking about, real life and real substance. So today's artists is lacking that I feel that, hip hop is kind of like almost dead, like Noah said.
And you went into country music.
Yes, ma'am. And that's why, I understand what they're saying and with the music that they do, or the hip hop, rap, all that stuff. My music is the same because I tell a story with when I write.
I don't think country has ever changed.
Yeah.
I
And
think
that's what I
country
do.
is that.
Yeah.
You will get some type of story.
Yeah.
Out of
Especially from me, because that's where I write. Everything I write about is basically things that I've lived already, that I go through every day.
And with country, like Peter and them was saying, with sampling music, do country artists do a lot of sampling music or no?
It just depends, I guess. But like me, as far as being a writer, I basically write for myself. I'm open to, sampling music, but I write my own stuff.
Okay. What are you, Peter and AD, what is your outlook on music here in Houston? Because you have a lot of talent here in Houston, so far as musicians. But we don't see that.
Well, for one, I'm going to speak on, there's no unity as far as, artists, being together. It's a lot of separation. Everybody wants the limelight and try to, sit high and look low. So I feel the unity is missing with the community out here as far as, supporting one another, stuff like that. That's why you have other cities that's, they say you got to leave the city in order to be recognized from your own city.
And you shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what the TV people were talking about. We go other places because we can't work together here.
I think one of the things within the Houston scene is if you collab with another artist, a known artist, that artist being that he has more of an outreach than you, they don't help you out. They'll charge you to jump on the track or feature with you, but they'll go to the radio stations to promote their own, but they won't promote the single that they did with you. It's like, okay, well, why not help this young brother, this young sister out? If you're an OG or a legend in the game, if you got ties to the radio stations, push that artist, take that artist with you. Give that artist the same type of shine. Don't just charge them for a feature and then not help push the feature. Because that's just helping you.
Exactly. What is it better to sign with an independent artist, sign as an independent artist or a major label? Because back in the day, every musician wanted to sign with a major label.
Well, in my opinion, you have your advantages and disadvantages of both labels. Sure, everybody wants to sign with a major label. But I feel me being on an independent label, I have more, my opinion accounts for something. And I have a personal relationship with my management company. There is no in between. I'm not just some dance monkey.
A number.
Not only am I, me and my management company, business associates. We're actually friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I say, I'm not a dance monkey. My opinion counts for something in that. Now, granted, we may be on a it'll take more steps to get to where I need to go.
Mhm.
But you know what? I'm learning as I'm going, and I'm getting better at everything that I do
Mhm.
because I'm basically on a development stage with everything.
Pros and cons.
Yeah.
Definitely has its pros and cons. Major labels, you get more exposure. You're able to tap into a lot of the good, resources and commercials, stuff like that. Independent is more like, you have more control, like he was saying, of what you want your product to be and stuff like that. So definitely they have its pros and cons with that.
Give me a few examples of smoke and mirrors for the music industry.
I don't do smoke and mirrors. I mean,
Period.
what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
You know, who I am is who you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just me.
I think with the artist today is, speaking from a radio's perspective,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm also host of Houston's first nationally syndicated Quiet Storm.
Mm-hmm.
I think they want it right now. They want the instant fame. They want that gratification right then and there, but you don't understand that it takes years. Some of these major artists that you see today, like Lil Wayne, for example, it took him
Years.
decades. Drake took him decades to get to where they are today. They just see where they're at now, and they want that instant gratification, and they want immediately have their records spin on the radio, but they don't see the process that has to be put in place to go into radio.
Facts. It's misperception. A lot of the stuff that they see, and that has a lot to do with social media. We call it Instagram flexing or whatever you want to call it. And you may see this artist and think that his lifestyle is just bigger than it is, and we all want that. But like he was saying, everybody want to put the blood, sweat, and tears in to process and have
Get
that.
it done.
That's not really what it's about. It's about like really just just being true to your art and never giving up and just keep pressing ahead and put the work in. You are what you put in. So
Especially if that is your purpose. That's why I would say if that is your purpose and that's what you're supposed to be doing, it's gonna fall in the place where it should be. What advice would you give? Each of you give to someone that's trying to go into this industry? Because this industry, if you don't know what you're doing, it's gonna eat you alive.
Like you said, you got to put the work in, and don't stop. You just don't never give up, because you never know. And I always say you got to sing like nobody's watching, because you never know who's around.
Exactly. That is so very true. AD?
I mean, like everybody that's trying to be in the industry right now, especially the young artists, I just tell them never count yourself out. You just got to stay pushing and never give up on your dreams and your vision. You're going to have obstacles and adversities, but at the end of the day, don't nothing happen overnight. Mom used to say, Rome ain't built overnight. So you got to keep on pushing and believing in you, So that's definitely what I tell them.
I think from the radio standpoint is don't think that the radio can make you. They have this perception of, well, I'm going to go up to the radio stations. I'm going to keep pushing. No, let the radio come to you. If you go to the radio stations, I have so many emails from major artists to indie artists wanting to get their record spin. And that's from each, to the top record label to the bottom record label. So I would think, let me go to you, because as a DJ, I'm always looking for new music. So if I find you first, then I'm gonna invest my time into you. But if you come to me and constantly push me, we don't like that. So I think just be persistent. Persistence leads to progress. Just be consistent with your music and go out there and network. Every chance you get, network.
Okay. That's some good advice. Let me get each of you social media platforms, and I have a super surprise because Mr. Russ is going to sing for us today. Like none of us are in this room. He's going to sing for us today and close out the show. But let me get each of your social media information. Don't give no phone numbers.
Stalker Speeder.
Well, you can find me at 779311.
Oh my God.
Oh, what's that Mike Jones number?
Who was right?
Yeah.
No, I kept it very simple. I am AD Green. I'm on all major streaming sites, all social medias at I am AD Green. You can find me at that. So.
I am Russ Brown on Facebook and Russ Brown Music on Instagram. And you can also probably find me at Blue Diamond Entertainment, which is Blue, B-L-U, no E, Diamond Entertainment on Instagram.
You can find me on Facebook. You can find me at Peter Allen. On Instagram at Real DJ Pod Piper and at Love After Dark Radio Show.
Okay. And Mr. Russ, tell us what you will be singing.
My newest single, which was just released this past month, it's called What I'm Sure Of, and it's basically about me not wanting to grow up and get old yet. I'm still living my best life.
Oh, I need to really listen in, because I'm old.
It's about doing the things that we did growing up. Some of the stuff we probably shouldn't have done.
But we made it through. So, guys, we're going to say goodbye to you all. I would definitely say be safe. If you want to be in the media industry, any part of the entertainment industry, definitely research, put your work in, stay consistent. All of the above that each of my guests said today. But until next time, guys, if you need any information on any of the guests we've had on today, please contact us at the ourlifetvshow@gmail.com. Always like, follow, share the Our Life TV show, and always empower, always encourage, pull up to the table without fear, but with confidence, and continue to remove your mask.
I was feeling abnormal in my hometown, and that's a strange way for me to be. 'Cause I've been running these streets, but now I've slowed down. Tell me what the hell is wrong with me? Some say that it's poison, some say it's a drug, but I know what I'm sure of. I'm sure I won't lie in the fast lane, chicken with a freight train, dark ones with my lights off. I'm sure I won't tip in cars at midnight, Friday night bar fights, burning rubber just to show off. Raising hell's what I do, it ain't nothing new. Yeah, I'm a rebel with every cause. Yeah, you made me who I am, and that ain't my fault. I'm tangled up in this web that I can't break. This confusion's messing with my mind. I'm not the kind to just settle for a slow take, too afraid I might get left behind. Some say that I'm raging, some say it's a buzz, but I know what I'm sure of. I'm sure I won't lie in the fast lane, chicken with a freight train, dark ones with my lights off. I'm sure I won't tip in cars at midnight, Friday night bar fights, burning rubber just to show off. Raising hell's what I do, it ain't nothing new. Yeah, I'm a rebel with every cause. Yeah, you made me who I am, and that ain't my fault. Shoot out the lights, tie one on, and don't worry about the trouble you cause. But be sure that you know when it's all said and done, you'll pay for it all. Life in the fast lane, chicken with a freight train, dark roads with my lights off. I'm sure I won't tip in cars at midnight, Friday night bar fights, burning rubber just to show off. Raising hell's what I do, it ain't nothing new. Yeah, I'm a rebel with every cause. Yeah, you made me who I am, and that ain't my fault. No, it ain't my fault. No, it ain't my fault. No, no. I'm sure I won't lie